A pleasant good morning, wherever you are watching us from. If you are watching us from the diaspora, we say good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Today, we officially welcome you to the Focal Online TV, where we bring innovation to broadcasting. For today, I am your presenter for Inside the Print Media, our daily edition here on Focal Online TV. I'm here with my colleague as a co-presenter,
Hey, Lyndon Truba.
Kaylee Nontokpa. How do you feel this morning?
Oh, well, I'm super excited to be here. This is our task we have been called to do. We selected this profession, and indeed, it is indeed a unique profession.
Thank you for making your way on this weather. I mean, it's not easy to come under the rain, so I appreciate your effort. So, we say welcome to Focal Online TV. Focal Online TV is located in the Togo Village community along the Japanese Highway. We are officially welcoming you again to Inside the Print Media, where we bring our daily edition of newspapers. So I am your presenter, Greg Sipa, along with K. Lyndon Topa. So let's look at our revision for today's newspaper. We have Daily Observer newspaper, we have Front Page Africa newspaper, we have the Independent Probe newspaper, we have the New Down newspaper, and the New Republic newspaper, along with our international news from our source, BBC. So stay with me as we right back with the headlines of the daily news. Stay with me, please. Welcome back once more. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are watching us from. Today, March July 12th, 2023, and today is Wednesday. We want to say welcome to Focal Online TV, where we bring innovation to broadcasting. Today marks the daily edition of Inside the Print Media, here with your presenter, Greg Sipa, along with my co-presenter,
Hey, Lyndon Truba.
and we are back again with the headlines of our daily news. Let's look at Daily Observer newspaper. Our headlines read Arms Commission, AFL busts arms and ammunition in Neba and Bon counties, transported to Monrovia for safekeeping. Under the Daily Observer newspaper, we have three headlines. Liberia committed to CCAF initiative. Our second headline. ECOWAS endorses Liberia candidacy for UN Secretary or Security Council. So we have three headlines under the Daily Observer newspaper. We now move over to the headlines. AFL bus arms and ammunition in Limba counties transported to Monrovia for safekeeping. The Liberia National Commission on Arms, LINCA, in collaboration with the Armed Forces of Liberia, the National Security Agency, and the Liberia National Police, has safely collected several pieces of artisanal and military-style firearms, as well as several rounds of ammunition arrested by the joint security teams in Bon and Nimba counties. The firearms and ammunition were transported to Monrovia and stored in the temporary storage facility for seized firearms in preparation of marking, recording, and subsequent destruction. Speaking during the turnover and collection of those illicit firearms, the acting chairman of the Arms Commission, Thomas Colley, lauded the vigilance and commitment of the joint security in arresting the illicit arms and ammunition and turning them over in the Arms Commission. Stay under the Daily Observer newspaper. We now move over to another headline. Liberia committed to CCAF initiative. Liberia committed to to CCAF initiative. As CCAF member state, we believe that with these regular gatherings of experts and of scientists to discuss scientific intervention in managing our share stocks, provide multiple opportunities to achieve progress from all relevant angles, which attest to CCAF's comprehensive, inclusive, and diversified approach to its operation. Emma Glasgow, Director General of the National Fisheries and Aquaculture Authority, that is NAFA, has said that Liberia will remain committed to cooperating with her international partners in supporting the Committee for the Eastern Central Atlantic (CCAF) initiative. Speaking on Tuesday, July 11, 2023, at the 20th Committee of Eastern Central Atlantic CCAF meeting held at the Farmington Hotel in Abel, Glasgow said Liberia will comply with CCAF applicable policies and regulations, as well as the best practices in order to sustainably manage its share fish stock. The last headlines under the Daily Observer newspaper, that is ECOWAS endorses Liberia candidacy for UN Security Council. Liberia, with its rich history and experience in post-conflict reconstruction, has emerged as a strong contender for a non-permanent seat on the UNSC for the term 2026-2027. The Economic Community of the West African States, ECOWAS, has endorsed Liberia's candidacy for a non-permanent seat on the United Nations Security Council (UNSC). The endorsement, which was done at a meeting in Guinea-Bissau by ECOWAS head of state and government, is a groundbreaking foreign policy achievement for President George Mani Weah, who had made his request to pursue global coalition and influence in the world political landscape for Liberia. We now move over to Front Page Africa. Lino Ketopa, what do you have today?
Yeah, thank you for such a beautiful reading. So with front page Africa now, Liberian government, Liberian governments and the African Development Bank to commence constructions of Liberia 444-kilometer coastal highway this year. Still on the front page Africa newspaper, former Nigerian President Goodluck Jonathan and Burkina Faso former Prime Minister visits Liberia to discuss upcoming elections. Deputy Speaker Funatif Kofi calls for single currency for Africa at African Leadership Magazine Summit. So let us go back to the details. The government of Liberia and the African Development Bank have finalized discussions to kickstart the constructions of the 444 kilometers along the coastal highway before 2023. The joint initiative aims to drive economic growth and development, particularly in the southeastern region of Liberia. Former Nigerian President Goodluck Jonathan and former Prime Ministers of Burkina Faso and ECOWAS Commission Patrick Kabrick, President Kabrick Desire Rodrigo paid a courtesy visit to Belfast Chamber, Speaker of the 54th Legislature House of Representatives, to discuss Liberia's upcoming election scheduled for October 10 this year. The visit by the former Nigerian president and his delegation is part of his foundation's initiative to promote democracies in Africa through the West African Elder Council. The statements engaged in a meeting at the Capitol building of Monrovia, where they discussed various topics including democracies in Africa, the sub-region, and Liberia's responsibilities in holding its fourth post-war presidential elections in October. Liberia Deputy Speaker Councillor J. Fonati Kofa has admonished leaders of the African continent to consider the need to reach a common position that will establish and commission the usage of a single currency by Africa, adding it will make doing business in Africa easy as well as boost out trade and commerce across the continent, adding it is economically essential and critical to adopt such progressive measures. Addressing delegates of the 8th African Leadership Magazine Summit at the of Lords of the British Parliament on 10 July 2023 under the theme New Opportunities for African Investment, Collaborations and Partnerships on the 11 July 2023 under a concomitant theme, Galvanizing African political leadership for investment, collaborations and partnership at the summit special panel held at the British Dorchester Hotel. The Liberian Deputy Speaker told the gathering of African and West End leaders that it is counterproductive to do business in a continent with about 40 different currencies, adding that many of the currencies have no value and the rest are artificially purged. Switch over to the Independent Probe newspaper. Health Ministry holds stakeholder engagement with Senate, House of Representatives in order. House Speaker Bofors Chimba has reaffirmed his unwavering commitment and dedication to serving the people of Cleveland Southern District 2 in Maryland County. He firmly believes that as their lawmaker, he owes them his utmost effort in the fulfillment of his responsibilities amid negative media propaganda. Speaker Chimba's commitment comes in the wake of negative media reports suggesting that he dished out money to buy votes during the second phase of the voters' registration process. Every decision I make, every action I take is driven by the belief I am here to serve your best interests. I consider it my duty to fight for the prosperity, well-being, and progress of Maryland County and its citizens. I'm accountable to you, and I am fully aware of the trust you have placed in me, Speaker Chimba averred. Still on the Independent Probe newspaper, we ask how MAC at regional level as bloc endorses Liberia for United Nations Security Council seats. It is now 78 years since Liberia played a key role in the formations of the League of Nations. We subsequently changed to now the United Nations in 1945, represented by Mystery Agnes Elizabeth Brooks Randolph as the first female president of the 24th session of the United Nations General Assembly. Liberia continued to play a critical role in world peace as part of the 51 countries committed to maintaining international peace and security, developing friendly relations among nations, and promoting social progress, better living standards, and human rights. Liberia has continued to push to greater recognitions, delivering its last State of the Nation address on Monday, January 31st, 2023. President Weah informed the legislature Liberia to the world of life that a singular and unprecedented honor is about to be bestowed on Liberia. Although this event will not take place until 2026, all the diplomatic activity leading to this have been undertaken by the administrations and under personal initiative and directives. We switch over to international news.
So thank you, Linonke Tokpa, for that um, brilliant reading. We now move over to another headlines as we remain with our country news here in Liberia. So we now move over to the New Republic newspaper. Monrovia, the World Bank has announced The 15 chief executive officers and chief who will make up the private sector investment lab. The founding members compromise or comprises a core group charged with developing solutions to address the barriers to private sector investment in emerging markets. The quality of their individual and combined expertise, leadership, and success in business and finance underscores the growing momentum and level of commitment for public and private collaboration to address global challenges in urgently skilled development solutions. Stay under the New Republic newspaper. George Williams School, PYJT Battalions. Nimba County Senator Prince Y. Johnson of the Movement for Democracy and Reconstruction has called on citizens of Nimba County to ensure that President George Weah is booted out of power democratically in October 10th legislative and presidential election. In 2017, the Nimba County Senator strongly supported President Weah's presidential ambition that led the coalition for democratic change to victory. The Nimba County political godfather did keep up the political marriage with President Weah re-election until recently when Unity Party Senator Barry Joseph Yuma Baka selected the political leader of the Movement for Democracy and Reconstruction, MDR, Senator Jeremiah Kum, as his vice running mate. We now move forward to another headline on the New Dawn newspaper. Woman gang raped to death. Woman gang raped to death. An undefined woman, unidentified woman believed to be in her 30s has allegedly been gang raped to death in Kakata, Margibi County. The deceased half-naked body was discovered in the 14th Row community during the morning hours of Tuesday, 11 July 2023. The incident created panic among residents of the community in Kakata. Up to press time, the deceased was yet to be identified by anyone. Um, we now move to another headline under the New Down newspaper. I am disappointed, not surprised. Cummings reacted to revelation on Waka. I am disappointed, not surprised. Cummings reacted to revelation on Waka. Presidential hopeful Mr. Alexander B. Cummings said he is disappointed but not surprised by talk show host Henry Costa's revelation against political rival Ambassador Joseph Human Parker. On Monday, 10 July 2023, Mr. Costa alleged that former Vice President Barker orchestrated the purported criminal lawsuit against Mr. Cummings to protect and secure his interests for the presidency in the October 10, 2023 presidential and legislative election. Mr. Barker and Mr. Cummings were both seeking to hear the once formidable collaboration political parties, that is the CPP presidential tickets before the opposition bloc crash. Wow. With this being said, we now close the segment of our local news here within Liberia. We now move over to our international news. Dinon Tokpa, please stay with me. So before we begin our international news, I want to acknowledge all of our viewers watching us. We say please share our live stream. Try and get a newspaper for further details as it will help the news agency in terms of finance and the information as well. So we encourage you to please share our live stream. Thank you for watching. We have 4 viewers watching now. Continue to share the live stream and we will be right back with our international news. I'm your presenter here in studio, Greg Finance Sipar, saying please stay with me as I'll be right back with my colleagues, Kay Lindo. Thank you for staying alone. We have 5 viewers now. We say thank you, and we are hoping that you can continue to share this live stream while we bring you the daily edition of Inside the Print Media from Monday to Friday at 10 a.m. And this program runs for 45 minutes. So I'm back again with my colleague. His name is,
Lyndon Toba.
and we will be drilling you through the headlines of top stories from our international news source, BBC. So, Lenon Topa, you can proceed with the first headline.
So the first headline from BBC: Russian ex-Navy commander shot dead while jogging in Krasnodar. It's back to you for the recap of another headline.
So, we have here seven cheetah dies in India since the reintroduction. Seven cheetah dies in India since the reintroduction. Wow. Linotopa, you may proceed with the details of the top stories.
A former Russian submarine captain who worked as a mobilization officer has been shot dead while jogging in the southern Russian city of Krasnodar. Several Russian media outlets speculated that Stanislav Hiskay, 42, may have been tracked via the profile on the Strava fitness app. Russian investigators say they arrested a man in connection with the killing. The suspect was named as Shahid Denasiko, born in the Ukrainian city of Sumy in 1959. Several Russian Telegram channels claim that Denasiko was the former head of the Russian Karate Federation, a former Russian a former Russian submarine captain who worked as a mobilization officer has been shot dead in the southeastern city of Krasnodar. It's back to you, Griffin and Park, for the continuations and closure of today's segment.
So, under the continuation of today's segment of international news, stay with me as I show you through the headlines and details. Seven cheetahs die in India since reintroduction. Seven cheetah dies in India since reintroduction. Another cheetah has died at a national park in India, Mahabashastik, taking the number of big cats deaths to seven. A senior officer, an official at the Kuno National Park said the cheetah died due to suspected infighting. The male cheetah named Teachers was found with injuries by officials. Cheetahs were declared extinct in India in 1952, but they were reintroduced last year as part of an ambitious plan to repopulate the species. This is how we close our news segment on the international news. Before we close this section of the daily edition of Inside the Print Media, let me first leave you with this motivational quote. Don't limit your challenges, challenge your limit. Do not limit your challenges, but challenge your limit. Leon Topa, do you have a discussion pending that you want us to discuss this morning?
Yeah, I want to discuss the the agreement that has been signed by the government of Liberia and that of the African Development Bank. You know, for a very long time now, the Liberians who dwell in the southeastern parts of Liberia continue to face these issues of inaccessibility for several years. And I want to believe that if the government, considering the fact that the government has convinced the African Development Bank to kickstart that construction work activity, which according to the news strip, is set to commence by 2023, they would be able to alleviate the people in that particular region from the level of impassibility they have been having. So I don't know how you look at it in your opinion.
I feel it's a start. It's decision. And I mean, kudos to the government. When this is being accomplished, I feel people within a rural area will benefit more. And then, I mean, it shows progress.
But another thing about that particular project is the fact that, considering the fact that the African Development Bank has agreed to provide the money as per the government request, I am wondering as to whether the government will take into account, you know, take into account the company that have the technical know-how to engage into that particular project.
Yeah.
Like we all know how the Japanese construction companies were able to speedily handled and make that particular road, the road Japan Freeway we are now enjoying. So I think the government must be able to follow the right procedure. So that's just my thought with regards to that particular topic on a discussion or subject on a discussion. So
Yeah, I love the way you analyze these whole issues, and I feel I feel it's great we talk about it and letting our people know if this being if this will be accomplished, it's gonna be something that they should take advantage and kick up on. So another story that drew my attention was under the New Down newspaper. It has to do with woman getting raped to death. I mean, this is so sad. It's so sad. We are ringing a bell, and we will not get tired as females to say that men should start raping.
yeah, definitely.
Yes.
Indeed, the issues about rape must be condemned. You understand? It should be condemned. I don't know as to what the government, the government will still move to arrest the perpetrators. But however, I don't think the government, but I believe that the government will make a strive to ensure that those who are involved into that act can be arrested. But the most painful part about it is that she is already dead, and even if at all the government wants to embark upon displaying justice, and I don't know what would be the outcome or what would be the realizations of justice to be dispensed.
So the government taking a stand still does not mean because she's dead it won't happen. I feel justice should be given. Whatever it is, justice should be given to her because at the age of 30 in being allegedly gang raped, it's something that is so terrifying.
Very, very terrible.
It's bad. And I mean, just in Kakata Magibi County, these acts of males in Liberia needs to stop.
But you as a woman, and considering the status that most of the time you oftentimes engage with your female counterpart, what do you think could be the the issues about men? I know men raping or sexually abusing, and the issues about domestic violence that has become, that has become a nightmare on our Liberian society. What do you think could be the cause of all of those things?
Well, firstly, I feel that no matter how I dress, does not give a male a right to take advantage of me sexually. No matter my dress code.
But partially, are you saying that women should avoid dressing indecently?
Yes, I will say that. I will say that we should dress, I mean, in a decent and a moderate manner or in a moderate form, right? But another thing is raping is not something to compromise. Raping is not something to just accept for just a short time or to just go along with. I feel that no man should rape a woman because she dressed and I mean dress code is that flimsy excuses. It shouldn't be the reason why you should rape a female. And I'm here saying this, right? Some of the things I feel encourage these guys to do what they are doing. We ourselves we have a little what wherein before a person can rape you, the person will basically study you. The person will know where you live, where you usually be, what are some of the things you can do, the people who are around you, because they want to set their time, they want to encamp to know when to attack or do certain things to you. Mind you, do not be in a space where a guy is always coming. Do not encourage certain things, right? Do
So,
not encourage sexual talk.
so what is your caution to, what is your caution to your female out there who are listening to
Yeah.
you, watching you from all parts of the world? What's your caution? What's the message of caution to them now?
Yeah, so this is it, right? Do not encourage people to touch you, especially on male. Do not encourage your male to try to touch you any part of your body or sensitive areas, right? Do not encourage someone who you don't know to just come up and just send you a sexy or nude video. Do not encourage things that will lead that way, right? Do not encourage someone to just come abruptly. Maybe you are working or doing something, and then the person just come abruptly, block the door gate where you can go
Yeah,
outside.
like your passage.
Yeah. And then the person is usually doing it. The person is always making you scared. The person is always making move on you and telling you that if you don't do X, Y, Z, I will kill you, or if you do X, Y, Z, I will kill you. Do not encourage those feedbacks, those comments. Do not encourage it. Do not encourage touches.
But I think, in my opinion, I think that this issues about rape, it should be, it should be discouraged. It should be discouraged. Even in our community, I think the men, the women, in our community need to take charge or take seize of this matter. It could be your sister, it could be your brother. At times, men get raped. You know,
Yeah.
At
So
times,
it's
men
not
get
only
raped. So
females.
the issues about rape is not only limited to,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
female.
So what is advancing now? As you may know, and I am aware, males are being, stigmatized.
Yeah.
Males are being abused. So it's something that we are saying and we are version out to stop all forms of rapes that is relating to a female and a male. So male can be raped. Of course, it's happening now. You can be drunk and then you will be abused by another male or another female. Let it be known. There are females who do that too. There are females who rape a male. So nobody shouldn't say, it's just hard. It's hard, but it can happen.
But what is even incredible to me is the fact that, the way we oftentimes we hear about, a man rape and then a man sexually harass this person. I have never heard of, you know I have never heard of a particular situation wherein a man is reporting that the female sexually harassment. I don't know. Is it that the men are, is it that we are very afraid to report that, or one way or the other we consider it as an enjoyment?
Yeah, I think I agree, but I feel it's because of our setting Liberia. It's not really, really happening here. Like the way you see the rate for a male raping a female is high than a female raping a male. So, but internationally, you see these things happen frequently, wherein you see a woman who will badly abuse an animal, or a woman who, and most of the time, they categorize them as psychopath. That's why they call it. But in other words, I'm encouraging my females who are listening to me and they are watching this live broadcast here on the daily edition of Inside the Print Media to not compromise with. It can be your brother, it can be your uncle. Do not compromise with. Let's talk about it. Be able to express yourself, be able to fight your way through it. Your body is your pride. Do not let anyone take advantage of you because of their position, because of their size, or because of some financial, background in XYZ, or some financial aid that you want. I feel that your body is something that whenever you want to have sex, you should know what you want to do, know the person you want to do it with, and then consent to whoever you want to do it with, right? But not to be abused or not to be raped just because the person who has sexual desire. No, I don't see it that way. So I'm encouraging you, if you are under the sound of my voice and you are watching me live now and you are faced with that situation, I encourage you to step out to someone, talk about it, do not compromise it. No matter what that man is telling you, if you are a child and you are in your parents' house, maybe you live with your aunt, or you live with your uncle, or you live with your big sister, and something of such is happening. Please step out. Don't be afraid. Go ahead and talk about it. Because if you don't talk about it, you are compromising it. And when you are compromising it, you have the edge to continue to do what he is doing, to continue to come to you every night in your room to make move, to continue to touch you inappropriately without your consent. So don't compromise it. Mind you, these things are happening in workplaces now. It's
Definitely.
also happening in the various churches. So we are talking about it today because we want to stop rape in Liberia. Let it drop. Please, I want valid and I want pride. You know, talk about you don't have to like it, but I will say
Definitely. I believe I too share similar thought with you. I believe that
yeah.
for no reasons somebody should take advantage of the female only because they want to appease themselves sexually.
Yeah.
I think it is about time that our sisters, our mothers, our aunties, and whoever they be to us, they should be protected.
Yeah.
We shouldn't use them as an opportunity to appease our sexual desire.
Yeah.
So
So just one more minute as we wrap up this show. We are Focal Online TV. We bring innovation to broadcasting on a daily basis. So today we brought you the daily edition of Inside the Print Media along with my colleague,
in October,
and I am Greg Finance. I'm your presenter on the daily edition of Inside the Print Media. So before we close, do not forget, don't limit your challenges, but challenge your limit. Don't limit your challenges, but challenge your limit. As long as God gives you life, keep on pushing and trust me, you will see progress at the end of the tunnel. So as we close today, we say thank you to all of our viewers who watched this live broadcast. We encourage you to purchase your newspaper for further details. And again, we are in media. We bring you the daily edition of our newspaper. This is how we close off saying thank you for watching. We will be back again tomorrow at 10 a.m. with another top story and headlines. Thank you, thank you, thank you.